In this video, we explore Mahon, which is the second largest natural harbour in the world. Unfortunately, we also lose a propeller, but then we find some amazing caves on the east coast of Mallorca.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho, hey, long for
The anchorage in Mahon is tucked away along a canal that goes around the back of La Mola Fort. It's very sheltered but gets quite busy. To get to the actual city, it's a 20-minute dinghy ride along the river.
So an interesting bit of trivia about Mahon is in 1756 the French had a rare victory over the British when they took over Mahon and Menorca, and in celebration they had a feast back in Paris where the commander of the French troops had his chef adapt a dish called alioli, which is a kind of still a delicacy today on the island. He adapted alioli into what became known as Mahon-asa, which later became mayonnaise.
Mahon is quite a popular tourist destination, and some of these holiday apartments rent for between £1,000 to £2,000 a week. So here we are in Mahon in Menorca. Yet again, it's pretty dead in the city. We can only hear sort of Spanish language mainly, so it doesn't seem many tourists. So it's one of those shopping trips again. We're way out of town. We walked about 30 minutes to get here, and we would have got the bus, but the bus isn't running, so we're going to walk. That's the hospital behind me. Do you think we're going to need it today, Ewan?
I don't know, but
Yeah, we're hoping we're not going to visit that. At least we know where it is anyway. We went off shopping and walked half an hour to Lidl and back, and then we had a lovely time with some new friends we met. And went back to our dinghy. Someone had cut the lock.
I don't really blame them because it could have been a private dock.
He's faster than us.
So we are off to La Mola, which is an island at the entrance of Mahon Harbour, with our friends on Wind Pearl, and we're going to explore some of the history of this island.
So we're in Mahon and we've come to the fortress just on the end of the peninsula. This was a particularly strategic location, and that's why it's just completely built on layers of sort of military fortifications.
So we anchored our boat here, and then yesterday we went down that canal, the Canal of Alfonso, all the way to the town in the distance over there. So this is the main entrance to the fortress, and this is called the Queen's Gate.
Oh, you can see his tongue. You can?
Can you see the teeth?
If you don't step on it because then it'll bite you. So this is the house where they stored all the gunpowder. This is the actual floor they had, and it's cool because like it's standing up for like this long.
And this place was built with double walls, so if there was going to be an explosion that was very likely, then it would be able to stay standing.
And also the other cool thing is that this place, when they started building it, when they had like wooden very old boats, and then like when it was like the modern boats and everything like nowadays, they finished it. So as soon as they built it, they kind of just abandoned it. This gun right here is like, it can shoot 30 kilometers out. It can pierce through some about that thick, like me. So just warning you, these guns are made from England. At first I was just like, it's a boring place, nothing fun, but then I realised when I saw like this big gun and this, it's really fascinating. I'm just like, how'd they build this?
So that is pretty much the end of this trip around the Isabella II fortress here in Menorca, right on the entrance of Mahon. You have to do quite a big walk to get to the end where the guns are, but they are massive. And like Ewan explained, you know, they were such a good defence that they never actually, this fort was never actually attacked because, you know, it was so highly defended, really.
If you're interested in military history, and in particular the military history of Europe and the Mediterranean, then it's quite fascinating.
Back on the boat, it was time for some fun. First, Woody was determined to do a front flip. We were determined to have a cocktail party. So we have left Mahon and now we are heading around the south coast of Menorca. So we're on a beam reach, and this is where the mizzen actually improves our speed by a knot or two.
So finally we got some decent wind in the Balearics. We're doing between about, well, we've got about 12 or 15 knots of wind. We're doing between 7.5 and 8 knots. There's a few boats around us. I think it's game on.
There are lots of caves in Menorca. In some you can see some important prehistoric sites, and others have been adapted for entertainment.
That is actually a nightclub. That has to be the coolest nightclub, built inside some caves and the balconies which overlook the Gulf of Leon.
Oh yes!
This is when you think you found a quiet anchorage.
He just honked to the people in the water to move out the way.
We have gone along the south coast of Menorca, so we've pretty much almost been around the whole island. This is the last place we're going to go to. It's Son Saura, and it's also supposed to be equally as beautiful. We found all the anchorages are really beautiful, really kind of, you know, there's no hotels, there's no kind of development. It's really nice to be able to get there on a boat. And today the wind's perfect from the north, so we've just got our big head sail up and we're going at nearly 6 knots. Nice flat seas, it's really good set. So we got to the last bay in Santa Claus, pretty much almost been around the whole island of Menorca. And these walks have been really nice actually. I think there's a coastal path that goes around the whole island. So we've been doing bits of it.
Maybe from the Spanish Civil War, but we found a massive PO box.
said our sad farewells to our friends on Windpearl and set off to Mallorca.
So a few weeks ago, the quality of our water maker water suddenly plummeted and it was undrinkable. So we thought it was okay because we had a full tank. But as we hit the east coast of Mallorca, we thought there was a marina here, it's got cheap water, so we might as well pop in and fill up.
It's one of those days really, I don't really know whether to laugh or cry. We just came into this little port, which we knew was going to be tricky. We were a bit worried about it because the shallow areas, and we weren't quite sure that our boat would get in here, because on Navionics it says it's very shallow, and on the chart, on the pilot book, it says it's okay, but the pilot book's quite old. Yeah, we came in, and our boat's a very heavy boat, and when you're doing sort of manoeuvring in tight quarters, you really do need to use the bow thruster. So I thought, I'll do this one today. It's good for me to keep up the skills. We're coming in and the bow thruster just wasn't working, and it was a bit late because we were already inside and it was time to turn around. If you don't know what bow thruster is, for these non-sailors out there, it's like another propeller that comes down off the bow and it helps move the bow round.
Unfortunately, when we came in, something happened to the bow thruster, and we believe that it sheared off just at the entrance. So anyway, we managed to park up. Rex did a good job in parking up.
It was a bit like one of those yacht master experiences where they give you those challenges and say that suddenly your engine's cut out and you've got to do it under sail.
It sounds like it was going round, but there was nothing happening. So I've just got this horrible feeling that the bow thruster propeller has actually come off. So I'm just going to go down now and take a look. But we're right at the entrance of a very swelly marina, so it's not the best of places to go down.
You think it came off here?
Yeah, unless it fell off as we used it last time.
So we've definitely lost the propeller from the bow thruster. We don't know whether it happens when we came in here or whether it happens another time, but it's gone, completely gone. It's worth about £200 for a new propeller.
Then I went to retrieve the bow thruster, and then the marineros wouldn't let me in the water. They told me to get out the water, even though the bow thruster is about 5 metres over there and 5 metres down.
We don't really need it at the moment, and hopefully we can fix it with a boat in the water. But it's just, it's another expense, it's really annoying.
And now we've got to get off without a bow thruster, which is not a problem. We're sailors, we can do things without bow thrusters, but at the moment we've got the wind coming over the top of the wall and then blowing the boat back on. So we've got wind blowing in opposite directions on the bows of the boat. Unfortunately, behind us we have a catamaran, which is sort of about 6 metres away. So it doesn't give us much scope for springing off either. So all in all, it's been a very expensive and awkward stop at a marina, which should be actually a pleasure, but it's not. Alright, dinghy apart, so we're going to have one person watching the dinghy, okay? One person watching the bow, one person watching this.
So because we lost our bow thruster, we're going to spring the old-fashioned way.
We managed to get off the dock okay and head along the east coast of Mallorca.
This is Calabarcas. Like most of the anchorages down this side of the coast, it's very crowded with day boats during the day, but then clears out at night. It was quite a good bit of shelter in comparison to the other places we've anchored down here, because we've had a couple of southeasterlies, so there's no anchorage which is 100% clear. So we came in here for a few days, and actually we found some caves which were really worth exploring. snorkeling wise. You can dive under and you can go into another cave. It was really fun.
And these caves are amazing. There are literally caves everywhere on these steep sides of the coast. And we're going to go and explore. Pop your head out and there's a little place where you can pop your head out and there's air.
Really sad actually. It's a beautiful area. Caves are fantastic to explore. There's just so much plastic in the water. I mean, it actually feels like there's more plastic than fish around here. We're going to head down the south now, to the south end, maybe spend a few days there before we head off to Ibiza.
Stay tuned and subscribe to the next episode where the weather changes for the worst and we have to get a major engine repair done. Thanks for watching, and especially thanks to our patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to contribute towards the creation of these videos, then follow the description in the link below. So we would really love to hear from you. If you want to leave comments, you can go to the Facebook page, Instagram, or even the Patreon page and leave comments there. And don't forget to subscribe.
And if you want to do it, do it.
Right.